Guys, in today's video, we are going to explain about database and database users, which is one of the most important subject from the database management system. So without getting any delay, let's start the video. Data is a raw fact collected from an environment about a physical phenomena or a business transaction. Data can be of any form, that is numerical, graphical, image, sound, video, etc. Information is defined as the defined process of data that has been transformed into a useful and meaningful from the specified user. After the processing of the data, it gives some senses to the users, which is known as information. Let's compare data and information simultaneously. Data doesn't depend on the information, but information depends on the data. Data is the input, whereas information is the output. Data is a raw material, whereas information is the product. Data is a single unit, whereas information is a grouping of data. So, what is database? In database is an organized collection of logically related data that contains the information relevant to an enterprise. The database is called repository or a container for a collection of data. For example, let us consider we have this database named school. We have a database named school. The database of a school may contain the data of students, student name, ID, address of students, and so on. Let us take an example of database. University database maintains the information about the students, courses, grades of students in the university, and so on. Telephone directory uses the database to store the data pertaining to the people, phone number, and other contact details, etc. Nepal Electricity Authority (NEA) uses the database to manage the billing, clients related issues, handle the fault data, and so on. These are the basic example of a database. But there are some database components which are schema, table, column, and row. What is schema? Schema is the collection of one or more table of data. The collection of one or more table of data is schema. Table consists of multiple columns similar to the spreadsheet, MS Access, and so on. Column contains the data of the different types, such as the data types may be data, numeric, integers, and so on. Row. Data in a table are listed in the row. We know that suppose we have a database named students. Student name, we have a database. The column denotes the database header. This denotes the database header. That may be student's name, role, address. Address may be the column which is the database heading, and the row indicates the data. Student's name be Achyut Bahadur Bidan, roll number 75, 76, 77, Bairia, Jitpur, 4 number may be the address. Here, the column denotes the database header or the title, and the row specifies the data. Now, what is database management system? A database management system is a set of a program that is used to store, retrieve, and manipulate the data. The main objective of database is not only to store the data, but it helps to retrieve and manipulate the data in a convenient and efficient way. Database management system is a set of a program that is used to store, retrieve, and manipulate the data in a convenient and efficient way. The main goal of database management system is to hide the data underlying complexity of the data management from the user and provide easy interface to them. There are various versions of a database management system DBMS software available. Some of the DBMS softwares are IBM DB2, MS Access, MS Excel, MS SQL Server, MySQL, Oracle Database Management System, and so on. Suppose we have a certain file that stores the database. Suppose it is let us take an example from the above example. Suppose we have a database named University Database. Contains the information about students, courses, and grade of the student. Student courses that may be university database, student details, role, and grades, which are linked by a specific software. Suppose they are connected by MS Access. These are connected by MS Access, which is a database software. By using this software, it is easy to retrieve the data, to store the data, and so on. What is a relational database management system, or RDBMS? Relational database system maintains the relation between the multiple data of the file is called a relational database system. For example, we have a two table, students and course. Forget about this course. Suppose we have a table students. They are student ID S12, S13, S14. Students name Pawan, Yuvraj, Sam, Govind, address Pokhara, Jitpur, Barganga, Pipara. Course ID C002, C021, C321. If the course of the subject are explained by another table, or if the course ID's data are explained by another table, these are called the database. This is called relational database management system. Database system that maintains the relationship between multiple data files is called relational database management system. RDBMS is widely used for the enterprise for storing the complex and large amount of data. Some RDBMS supports ORM allows to developer to map their object model into a relational model. The relational database management system are MySQL, Oracle Server, and RDBMS software. Here is a bonus point. What is database system? Any database system that uses the DBMS for the data management is called database management system. Simple. A database system consists of a database, DBMS, and application program. That is any application that uses the database management system DBMS software for the data management is called database system. Here we have a simple figure. Suppose we have a central database and which is linked by the database management system. And above the database management system, we have some application. We may have or may not have some application program, but we have the user interface through which the user can retrieve the data, and the data are retrieved by user 1, user 2, and user 3. The whole system is known as database system, which is known as database approach for the data processing. For the exam point of view, there may be a question. Write the difference between the database management system and relational database management system. This is the important question. Now let's explain about the file management system or flat file system. File management system is also called a flat file system that stores the data in the form of a plain text. File management system do not use any hierarchical models, but it uses plain text to store the file by a single line. Fields from each row may simply have a fixed width or padding, or may be delimited by a white space, tab, or other characters. There is no structural relationship between the data as the data are flat as in sheet of paper. In this approach, each application has a data file related to it, containing all the data program, each with associated application on the specific data file. Here in flat file system, the data are stored in plain text format. So we have application first, application 2, and application 3, and which store data in a plain text in a single line, and which store the data from the file 1, file 2, file 3, and file n. File 1 stores the data in the file system, file 2 stores the data in file system, file 3 in file system, and similarly in this way file n stores the data in file n, which are retrieved by the application program 1, application program 2, and application program n. What are the limitations of the database file management system. The limitation may be there may be in problem in data redundancy, data may be repeated, the difficulty in accessing the data. Suppose we have FMS, that is file management system. The data are stored in this format, and here we have a lot of text, but we have to find this character. Suppose we have to find out this character. It will be obviously difficult to find out this character. In data isolations, there is a problem of data integration and atomicity problem, concurrent access anomalies. The data is less secure, wastage of labor and space, but there are few advantages. The few advantages may be easy to set up and quick to understand. Easy to understand, it is easy to implement the FMS. FMS doesn't require the FMS doesn't require any logic or any program. The data are stored in single plain text file, so it requires less hardware and software requirement, less initial investment, best for the small database, and less overrated. What are the Despite of these, we have some function of database management system or purpose of database management system. To avoid the disadvantage of FMS file management system, we have the purpose of database DBMS is developed. The purpose of DBMS are to reduce the data redundancy, to avoid inconsistency, to share the data, to provide support for the transactions, to maintain integrity, to enforce the security, to provide efficient and backup recovery, to concurrent access database. But we have some disadvantage of database management system. The database management system's disadvantages are problem associated with the centralization, that is the problem of security. DBMS is highly costly as comparing to the FMS, and DBMS require the high cost and high hardware requirement. Frequent upgrade or replacement cycles is needed. There may be a complexity in backing up the data and data recovery. These are the advantages and disadvantages of database management system. But who use the database management system, and who are the database user? So let's explain about the database user. The people who use or access the database are called database user. Those people or the administrator who access the data or work with the database are called database management system. The database management systems user are native users, application programs, sophisticated users, specialized user, and stand-alone user. Who are the native users? Suppose we have a website. I have a website that is bhattarai.com.np, and here you have to, if you register in my website, if you sign up there, you have to fill a form, and then you can access to the you can access or you can play a role with that website. Or suppose if there is a educational website and you are going to give an online exam, then you have to create a database by entering and submitting the required information. This is known as, or that user is known as native users. जस्तो हामीले कुनै ठाउँमा गएर कुनै अनलाइन इक्जाम दिनुपर्ने छ र कुनै एउटा वेबसाइटमा गएर चाहिँ हामीले त्यहाँ दिएको डेटाहरूलाई भरेर चाहिँ अभियसली हामीले त्यहाँ दिएको सिम्पल फर्मलाई भरेर चाहिँ कुनै एउटा डेटाबेस क्रिएट गर्छौँ भने त्यसलाई चाहिँ के भनिन्छ, नेटिभ युजर्स भनिन्छ। जस्तै हामीहरूले फेसबुक युज गरिरहेको छौँ, फेसबुकको सुरुमा चाहिँ साइनअप गर्ने बेलामा हामीले त्यसमा चाहिँ साइनअप गरेर चाहिँ हामीले एउटा कुनै डेटाबेस आफ्नो एकाउन्ट क्रिएट गर्छौँ भने त्यो फेसबुकको लागि हामी के हो, नेटिभ युजर्स हो के। दिस आर द डेटाबेस युजर हु आर कम्युनिकेटिङ विथ द डेटाबेस थ्रु एन अलरेडी रिटन प्रोग्राम. Example, when a student is registering on a website for an online examination, he creates a data in the database by entering and submitting the details. And here is who is application programmers. These are the application programmers are the software developers who write the program code. They use a tool like rapid application development (RAD) tools for creating the interface with a minimal effort. Application programmers are those users or software developers or the professional who write the program code to develop the database, and they use the tools like RAD, that is rapid application development, for creating a user interface with a minimal effort. And next is sophisticated users. The users who are creating the database without writing the code is called sophisticated user. This type of user do not write program code. They do not use any software to request a database. They directly interact with the database by using any query language. They already interact with the database by using a query language. SQL is called, and those type of user are called sophisticated user. And there are some specialized user. The sophisticated users will write a special database application program are called specialized users. They write a complex program for the specific complex requirements. Special users write the program such as computer-aided design system, knowledge-based system that stores the complex data types, and so on. Those users who write the program, or those sophisticated users who write the code to create a database system, are called specialized user. They use the complex program or program code to create a database. For example, the users who write the program such as, or who create a program such as computer-aided design system, knowledge-based system that store the data, are called specialized user. And last one is stand-alone user. Those users who use the data for the personal uses are called stand-alone user. Those users, they uses the data for the stand-alone user. There are many database software for the stand-alone users such as MS Access and so on. So guys, this much is for today. Before ending the video, there are some questions which may be important in exam point of view. This question may be: difference between a database management system versus relational database management system. What is file management system? Limitation and advantages of file management system. Function disadvantages of database management system. What is file-based system versus database system? Difference between the file-based system versus database system, and database user and its type. Thank you so much guys. Thanks for watching this video.